We are live. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You are in with Matt and Scott from Stout Sportsmen.
Yes, sir.
What are we talking about today, Scott?
We have our Bassmaster Fantasy Fishing Bassmaster Classic.
Yes.
Picks
for 2020
at Lake Guntersville. Is it March 6th through the 8th? March 6th through the 8th.
6th through the 8th, yeah, Friday through Sunday. Yes. So this time next week we'll be it'll just about be over. So
yeah, it'll be like probably an hour to weigh in.
Weigh-ins, yep. So definitely excited after not having any elite action going on. I don't know, for the past 3-4 weeks now.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we had one event and then it was pretty much on vacation.
Yeah, it's been rained out, weathered out, whatever you want to say. And this is kind of like a treat because we have Classic this coming weekend, and the following weekend will be Chickamauga. So we get back to back. Yep.
Actually, I think there's a week in between.
Say it ain't so.
Yes, there is a week in between.
No.
Chickamauga is the 19th of March. So we actually have.
Oh, we do have a week to gather our thoughts, and I guess that's good. That way, we're not trying to rush through things. Yeah, because like next Sunday, if it was back to back next Sunday, we'd be trying to be watching live Guntersville Classic as we're trying to make our picks for Chickamauga. So that works out better.
And we'll actually have the list up on the website so you can kind of see what's going on.
Yep. Good. All right, so just want to. I'm not sure how you have your banner set up. We're going to go through your picks first, and then mine. And
I did it by buckets again.
Okay.
So I have all of the A buckets:
Mm-hmm.
A bucket, B bucket, C bucket, D bucket, E bucket.
Good.
All right, bucket A.
All right. Ooh, there's some good names there.
So, Matt, you took Keith Combs.
I took Keith Combs again. I know, I'm pretty sure I took him to St. John's. I just like Combs. Combs he's a power fisherman. He likes cranking. He's a good cranker, and he knows how to catch big fish. And when you're at Guntersville, I think a lot of these guys are going to be swinging for the fences. It's like go big or go home, and that's the attitude I think you need to have to win.
Yep, and Guntersville doesn't count. The Bassmaster Classic doesn't count for points for the season, so it's it's a lot of guys that are, they'll say they swing for the fences, they go big or go home.
Yep.
So we'll see how they do. Obviously, if you're not fishing for points, you're not too worried about just trying to get a limit. You're trying to get the 5 biggest fish, and
right. At the end of the day, that's what counts.
Yep.
So, that's what you got to do.
All right. I took Mr. Chris Zaldane.
Mm-hmm.
He finished second last year at Guntersville to Mr. Jamie Hartman. Jamie Hartman won that event.
Yeah, Jamie Hartman did win that. Yep.
But I also think I didn't pick Hartman just because I know Hartman is, being from our area, he fishes a lot of grass, and I don't think there's going to be very much grass. So I think it's a little bit different playing field than they had last year.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, even like you don't really know what the weather's going to be like. I mean, I haven't even looked at the forecast for the weather down there, but it could be 70 degrees, it could be 40 degrees. You just really don't know.
Yeah.
So at the same time, you also got to look at guys that have the ability to adapt to those changing conditions, for sure.
Definitely. All right. The Stout Sportsman pick is Scott Canterbury.
Yes. We're just kind of going the safe route here. He was kind of one of both of our backup picks. So I think that's a solid bet. And I think he has the percentage wise, he's, what's he at, 36.6%. So he's the favorite. So I guess we'll play it safe there for that pick. Yep.
And then for others, we picked the field.
Yeah,
it's.
I mean, most of everybody in that A bucket has quite a bit of experience, and you really just can't go wrong picking any of them. I mean, some maybe weighted a little bit more heavily than others, but you can pretty much pick anybody in that A bucket, and you should fare pretty well. My opinion, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, all these guys have experience. There's the guys that live close.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You have Matt Herron. He isn't too far from Guntersville.
Mm-hmm.
Jamie Hartman won last year. They're all veterans.
Yeah.
All of them are veterans. They fished there before, so it's pretty up in the air.
Yeah.
I did just pull up the Guntersville, Alabama 10-day weather forecast.
Oh yeah, what are we looking like?
Well, today we have 63. And then it looks like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we're in the 60s to 50s.
Mm-hmm.
And rain. It looks like rain every day. 90% chances.
Right.
But then it's going to be 54 degrees on Friday, sunny.
Okay.
56 on Saturday, sunny, and partly cloudy on Sunday with 60 degrees.
Okay.
Variable wind, but it looks like practice is going to be wet, and then it's going to be pretty dry for the tournament.
Yes. So yeah, conditions will change a little bit, but temperatures will be all right about the same.
Yeah.
So that's good. So there's at least some consistency.
All right, so that does it for bucket A.
Yep.
It's probably the easier bucket to pick from. All those guys are gonna have a decent week, I think.
Right.
There may be one or two of them that just don't show up, but
yeah, I mean, and that's always going to happen.
Yep.
All right, bucket B. I went with same as last time. I went with Brandon Cobb. I like him. He can catch big fish, and he's proven he can do it, and that's what I like. Especially for Guntersville or even Chickamauga coming up. I'm probably going to go with Cobb again. He's a fisherman that he can and does catch big fish, and that's what I like to see. I like to see consistency there.
Yep. Yeah, he's I think he had over 100 pounds in his win last year on Lake Fork, which is big fish.
Yeah.
And Guntersville is no exception. It's big fish there.
I mean, Guntersville is a lake that probably in the last decade has seen a lot of tournaments and a lot of pressure. So these bigger fish are smart fish. They got that big for a reason because they're smart and they know what not to bite. So there's gonna be a lot of pressure there, but the guys that can throw out that presentation that maybe those fish haven't quite seen as much. Those are the guys that should do good anyway.
For bucket B, I have Matt Airy. He's a veteran, fished on the FLW tour for many years.
Yep.
And he's done pretty well coming into the Elite Series. So
yeah,
I took him based on that.
He's at 10.6%. Cobb was at 13.8. So kind of middle of the road guys. It's not the most picked person. It looks like John Cruz and Paul Mueller were the highest picked so far.
And speaking of Mueller, we took him as our Stout Sportsman's pick.
Yes. Yep. Solid guy. I like Mueller. He's kind of.
Yep.
He showed me a lot last year, anyways.
Yeah, and he's coming off a win at the St. John's River where where nobody thought he would do that well. He's a northern guy. Mm-hmm. He's very much a finesse, open water fishing guy kind of guy, and he went down to St. John's River and showed those guys a thing or two.
I guess he did. And then for the other guys to kind of keep your eyes on, what do we have? Cruz and Menendez.
Yep, those are two of the, I guess we'd call them veterans.
Yep.
That have been around the block a little bit, and they kind of fit with that group A kind of guys where they have the experience.
Right.
But they're in bucket B, so
yeah, you can't put everybody in bucket A stuff.
So yeah, what with those guys? Menendez, I don't even know how old he is. He has to be in his late 50s, 60s. He's an older guy, isn't he?
1964, so 36, 46, 56 years old, roughly.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got some experience.
Yeah.
And those guys are dangerous. Those older guys with that old school bass knowledge.
And Cruz is the guy, one of the guys in the Elite Series. He's never been that guy that wins a lot of tournaments,
right?
But he does fairly well.
He I think Ann took him at St. John's as one of her picks, and he through day 2 and 3, he came back kind of out of nowhere, and I want to say he was a top 5 or 10 finisher.
He was in the top 10.
Yeah, he was solid.
Or at least the top 20. I know he finished.
Yep.
Well. All right. Let's see. Bucket C.
Okay. Bucket C, I took Lee Livesey.
Lake Forks. Lake Forks, Lee Livesey. That's where he's from.
Yes, yeah, he's from the Lake Fork region. So he's used to catching big fish, and that's kind of much of my motto. As I've explained with my first 2 guys, I just want guys that are used to catching big fish. And I mean, there's a difference catching big fish to little fish or a lot of fish. But these first 3 guys anyway are guys that I feel are gonna produce. So that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, he also finished 7th at Guntersville last year.
Mm-hmm.
So he's done well there before. So that was kind of my reasoning behind it.
Yeah.
And he's in bucket C, so
right.
I think he's a good value there.
Yes, absolutely. Yep. Yeah, he's kind of a young guy too. He was born in 1985.
Oh, wow.
So he's about 35-ish.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Let's see who
we took.
We both took live C. Yep.
Yep.
And then the way I have things, I'm moving to the side. Actually, I have my camera. I actually have my camera setting in front of the monitor, so it's blocking a small portion. But it just makes so when I'm looking forward, it's not like when I'm looking at the monitor, it's like I'm not paying attention. But no, I'm looking.
Yeah, I have the dual screen, so when I'm looking over here, I'm probably looking something up. And
right.
Then,
right.
I have the camera in front of me. So our Stout Sportsman's pick is Clint Davis.
Yes.
He's from Alabama. And I think our biggest reason is he's not the favorite in the group.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But he's also from the area.
Yeah, he's more of a local guy. He was
12.7%,
which looks like second or third.
Yep.
Second. Yep.
He's second.
Yep. To Patrick Walters. But yeah, I mean, you got to go with the local guy here and there too. So I think, and look at him. I mean, I'm looking at his picture right now. He's a big, burly, husky dude. I'm like, yeah, he's going to catch big fish. He's a big guy.
Oh,
there's Gabe.
Gabe has walked in.
Yeah. Does Gabe have? Does he have a? Does he put a lineup in or not?
No, he doesn't.
Okay, all right. Look at him making faces in the camera.
Oh, JP has joined us.
Oh, there he is.
Hey, JP.
What's going on, man?
Yeah, go ahead and sit down.
A little late. It'd be all right. You only missed a couple minutes. First 3 buckets.
Hey, I got somebody's coming to the door, so I'll be right back.
All right. I'll have to keep people entertained for a few minutes.
Sounds good.
All right, JP, since you just came in here, I'm just going to rip through my A and B bucket picks real quick. Same thing I did with St. John's. I picked Keith Combs for A bucket. I like him. He's used to catching big fish, loves his crankbaits. I think there's going to be a lot of power fishing going on at Guntersville. B bucket, I went with Brandon Cobb again, same as I did at St. John's. Brandon's, he's caught a lot of big fish at Lake Fork last year. He can catch big guys. That's what I'm looking for in this event. Guys that catch those big fish. So that's what my angle is. I think Scott went with Chris Zaldane for A bucket, and B bucket. Let me see, what did he do for B bucket? I think he went with Matt Airy. Yeah. Yep.
All right, I am back.
All right, I was just catching up, JP, to what me and you took for A and B buckets.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So
we got Clint for the Stout Sportsman pick and C, and other guys to look out at. What do we have? Pickens, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a veteran still. Also, Pickens.
Yeah. Yep.
I think when you're talking about the Bassmaster Classic, it's definitely a different tournament.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of, I guess, hoopla, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like the Daytona 500 of bass fishing, right?
Yep. So there's a lot of media stuff, and I've heard a few guys talk about where it takes a couple Bassmaster Classics with how things go for them to get for them to feel comfortable.
Right. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot more distractions going on for sure that week.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, same thing like with Super Bowl or anything like that. There's a lot more media attention to it, and just everybody wanting interviews, and especially having a smaller field of anglers. There's going to be more attention on everybody.
Definitely.
For sure. Yeah.
All right, let's go to bucket D.
Yes. I kind of went with what I think is a heavily favored guy, Ray Hanselman. Yep. He's a Texas guy. He's picked 14%, so he's not the number one or number two pick for that matter, but I think he's going to do solid for sure. That's my pick, and I'm sticking with it.
I went with Skylar Hamilton. He knows the Tennessee River there, being in Tennessee. He's been around I forget, a couple years, I think. I know he fished last year.
Mm-hmm.
And he already has one classic appearance, so see how he does on number 2.
Yeah, he's a younger guy. He's 25, 26 years old, somewhere about that.
He was born in, I have it pulled up, 1994.
Yep. Oh, one of his sponsors is Guggen Baits. Well, we'll see how that works out for him. All right. JP has picked Ray as well. All right, good. Very good. Who do we have for De Palma for our Stout Sportsman pick, Greg?
Yep. We went with a low percentage pick there.
Yeah, just trying to if he pops off and he hits, then that'd be better for us.
Yep. And then others, we have nobody because we really didn't have anybody else. The Cliff Prince is leading that bucket with 29.6.
And I think a lot of that has to do with probably because he fished. He did make it into the final day at St. John's, I believe, didn't he? I want to.
He's from Palatka, Florida, so it's his backyard. So there's that.
Yep.
Jake Whitaker is also 23.7%, the second pick. So I really don't know much about him other than he's from North Carolina.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to Bucket E.
Bucket E. Now, this is I think we had a consensus pick on this one, didn't we?
Yes.
It's a Kody Hough, 23.9% picked. He was only second to Cody Holland, and I didn't do much research on Cody Holland to find out why he was at 33.7, but somebody somewhere has got to know something, because the only thing that comes out of Beaverton, Oregon is Nike. That's where they're headquartered. So I know that for a fact, but yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on with that one.
I'll say that he actually is on the Elite Series this year.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm guessing it's just because he's
just a little bit of familiarity, maybe.
Yeah, he's one of the guys I was on the Elite Series. Let's talk about Kody Hough.
Yeah,
he is he is the college series angler that got to fish.
And I mean, just from looking through, I read like a lot of the pundit picks and stuff here on Bassmaster.com, and Kody Hough was picked by all three of the pundits on here. He was picked by two of the three, and then he was like a dark horse for the other one. So it's just he's obviously, if he's in college, he's a younger guy. He doesn't have that experience, but at the same time, he's got that youthfulness, and I think he's just kind of gonna. I think he's gonna flourish.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens, but
I think he's actually from the same town or same area as what's his name? Rick Clunn. He talks to Rick Clunn.
Yeah, I know Rick speaks very highly of him. I did read that. Yep. So that's good.
If Rick believes, I believe. Something like that.
Right.
So
and I mean, that's big though, to have, one of the biggest names in bass fishing history, in your corner speaking highly of you. That's great.
Yeah. So we took him as our Stout Sportsman's pick, and for others, we have Buck and Gleason. Both of them, I believe, were they won events for the Opens, and that's how they got in.
Yeah. And I mean, even just looking at their pick percentage, Gleason 14.5, Gray Buck 9.1. So I mean, those two guys are pretty much next in line after Hough and Holland. So
yeah, and both of them aren't. I don't think either of them. Yeah, neither of them are fishing the Elite Series this year. So I mean, show up to the event and swing for the fences.
Yes, yeah. I mean, you really have nothing to lose. So and those guys are dangerous. Guys that are just going to swing for the fence, and you're either going to follow them off until you strike out, or you're going to pop fly, one of the two. But
yep. So I mean, I think that would be awesome to show up and make a name for yourself.
Oh yeah, that could be huge.
Gabe, you want to say hi to the people? This is my son Gabe. You say hi.
Hi.
I'll say what's up, Gabe, but he can't hear me, so.
I can a little bit.
He can a little bit.
A little bit? All right.
Yeah.
All right, so that's the buckets. Yeah.
So just talking about Guntersville and this time of year, I mean, what do you like? What type of fishing do you think it's going to be? Like, what kind of baits and stuff you think are going to be utilized?
Well, I've heard they're going to do a lot of. There's going to be a lot of guys cranking.
Yes, a lot of cranking, power fishing.
Yep, and I've heard fishing around the bridges.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard that's a big thing, and I believe that's how Randy Howell won his Elite Series or his Bassmaster Classic years ago on Guntersville. So yeah, a lot of cranking. I don't think there's going to be very much grass to play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised if some of the guys all of a sudden say that they're, find some fish on beds or something like that. You never know.
Yeah, I heard a little bit about, fish being, that pre-spawn mode, like in the back of some of the little fingers there, using some square bills, even chatterbaits, some spinner baits. I heard a couple of guys maybe wanting to throw some buzz baits too. So it'd be interesting. I think we're going to maybe early on, or especially through practice, obviously the guys are going to be throwing the whole, kitchen table at them, but to find out what works. But yeah, I think there's going to be, I don't think it's going to be the same guys using the same stuff. I think there's going to be fish caught with multiple, different baits.
Yeah. JP, do you know why Kody Hough has picked 33.7% in Buckety? I think we mentioned it, but if you look on there, it says ranked 23. I believe he had a decent. He is on the Elite Series, so I think he had a decent showing at St. John's River, and people are just picking him because he's some sort of a name, that's on the Elite Series.
Yeah, I mean, other than that, I really don't know why. I'm trying to look real quick to see where he did finish. I'm assuming it's 23rd. Yep, he had. It doesn't say. What do you have? 23 pounds, 1 ounce. That's what he ended up with at St. John's. Yep. Oh, going back to John Cruz, we just spoke of. He actually finished second at St. John's. He had 44 pounds, 4 ounces. Wow. So that's why Cruz got a little bit of a following here. What was that, C group, I think? Where the hell was he?
He was in B.
B, okay. Yep, yeah, he's ranked 5th. Okay. How's he ranked 5th if he finished in 2nd? Right.
Odd.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, to me that just seems 33.7 seems like a lot for him, but whatever.
Yeah, when you're getting into Buckety, I mean, it's I just call it a crapshoot.
But you got to be right though. I mean, if you do look at the rank, 23rd, 61, 82, 141, yeah, I mean that it just makes sense. So,
what do you think for weights?
For my own pick, I picked 71 pounds, 7 ounces. So that's roughly 3-day event. So it's about 23, 24 pounds a day.
Yep.
So somewhere in there.
I took 73 pounds, 7 ounces.
Yep. And
so yeah,
we split the difference for the Stout Sportsman pick. 72 pounds, 7. Yep.
It is a 3-day event. Just remember that.
Yes.
Because if you plan on 4 days, it's you
got to add another 20. Yep. I know. Ann ended up. She rattled through her picks and her weight this morning to me, and I think she picked like 86.7 or something like that. So I'm like, well, you might want to revisit that. Just drop it down a little bit. I mean, it could happen, but yeah, they'd have to be pulling some monsters in every single day to get there.
Yeah,
I mean, you're talking 28, 29 pounds a day.
86 is almost 29 pounds, 28.6 for 86.
Yeah. I mean, we could very well see that for a 1-day bag maybe, but to maintain that for 3 days, that'd be tough.
Yeah.
Yep. I see my nephew Noah is watching.
Yep.
I'm not sure if does Noah have a team set up in here? I haven't looked to see if he does.
I don't know. Doesn't look like he's watching anymore.
Okay.
He's
right. That was through Facebook. Okay.
Yep.
But I mean, kind of going back to like weather conditions and stuff, you just kind of went through what the weather forecast was. Basically, looks like practice, it's going to be a little bit wet for him, but temperature-wise, it looks like it's going to maintain that 50, 60 degree area for the actual tournament. Mid 50s up to 60 on Sunday. So that'll be good. I mean, there will probably be a little bit of adjustments that'll have to be made from practice, up to Friday, Saturday. But yeah, at least it's not going to be like 61 day and snowing 2 days later.
Yeah, I mean, there isn't too much of a difference as far as. I mean, Friday it might be a little cold, low of 34.
Right.
So there's about 20 degree difference between the lows and the highs. So
yeah,
could be interesting.
Yeah. most likely going to be some chilly mornings for sure. Yeah, the Friday, Saturday morning. Yep.
Do you have anything else for the Classic?
That's really all I got.
Yeah,
I'm just excited to starting. I think they're starting practice Tuesday.
Yes.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah.
Actually, I think they already started practice because they with the Classic they have some media days.
Okay.
So I think they have actually practice. I think they might have started yesterday. And they have three or 4 days of practice, and they have like a media day and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah. All right.
So let's wrap this up and
wrap this one out. Yep.
Yeah, there's really isn't too much else to say.
Yeah. And I mean, as always, my picks, your picks are Stout Sportsman picks. They are subject to change.
Yes, very much.
I may change maybe one guy if that, but I knew for the St. John's, I was pretty sure I was going to change one, which I did. And I'm pretty confident in who I have right now for this week. Yeah.
So let's wrap it up.
We'll wrap it up.
Subscribe if you haven't already.
Yes.
We enjoy having more viewers. Let us know if there's any videos you kind of want us to do.
Right. Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's Tesla. Okay. But yeah, if you watch this, leave a comment down below and let us know your favorite pick for the tournament.
Yeah, please do. Yep.
So,
all right. Best of luck, everybody, with your picks, and we'll talk to you next week, and we'll have a little bit of a recap on how we did. Everybody did.
Yep. Sounds good.
All right. Take care, guys. This is Scott and Matt from Stout Sportsman. We're out.
Ow.